This is Henry Frederick of Headline Surfer. I'm here today in New Smyrna Beach, Florida with Gene Sheldon, the newest member of the Southeast Volusia Advertising Authority, and a proud member at that. Mr. Sheldon, we're here today in your beautiful home with your dog, and he's going around the corner. We'll just pan out to him out there. And tell us why, after 2 go-arounds, apparently this is not your first time on the Ad Authority.
No, sir, it's not.
According to my notes, you were on the Ad Authority from 1999 to 2003.
That's correct.
What has changed in terms of the economics of a community, in terms of marketing? You know, this is obviously a tourism town with the beach and the Intracoastal Waterway. What's changed, though, from then to now? Is it really changed at all?
Yeah, I think it has. You got the Hampton Inn on Flagler. You got the new marina on the North Causeway. We've got additional light industry that have come to town. Canal Street, Flagler Avenue are beautiful.
Flagler Avenue has really come alive.
It's come alive.
Nightlife.
Nightlife, fantastic.
Can have a big New Year's Eve party here.
And I'm about 4th Street south of Flagler, and I can hear the music.
So I'm sure you'll be up all night. You have had a lifetime of commitment, and I asked you earlier off camera, what is it? You're now at the age of 75, still going strong. Your wife passed on, Marjorie's, about 10 years ago. What is it that keeps coming back and what you told me earlier? Say it again.
I believe in the community. I believe in light industry. I believe that we need to help our restaurants.
And you talked about smart growth.
Smart growth.
Controlled growth.
Control. We need to definitely control what comes in our beautiful city. I'm a native, 5th generation of John Dwight and Jane Sheldon family.
Tell us about the 5th generation and the Civil War, briefly.
John Dwight and Jane Sheldon had a 40-room home on the old fort. New Smyrna Beach, back in the Civil War days, was considered a blockade runner. The North had ships, gunboats, off our coast, but we would still slip in with powder, guns, ammo, and pass through their blockade, and they came in the river and they blew the home up. At the Museum of History, there are items that was recovered from the shelling of the ship.
There's still artifacts.
There's still artifacts
from your family's home.
From the home that was on there.
And in the Museum of History that you and your late wife Marjorie got going with a couple of other people.
Yes, when I was president of the museum, I went to the mayor and the city manager and asked them would they deed us the old, which I call the post office, and then it was a utility building, with stipulations that we could not sell.
Now, was this Mayor Musson or was this...
No, this was Mayor Vandergriff.
Oh, so we were on to Vandergriff at that point. Okay.
And to protect the taxpayers of New Smyrna, it was that we could not lease, sell, rent. If we ever dissolved, it went back to the city of New Smyrna. With that in hand, Larry Sweet, myself, my deceased wife Margie, and Mark Rakowski with the city.
Mark Rakowski, the planner at the time.
We went to Tallahassee and we were awarded $380,000.
And that was your seed money.
That is what put the museum in the maze.
All right, let's move on now to what made you sort of the working class hero in New Smyrna Beach. 1961, your first big job. Where was it? Tell us about it quickly.
1961.
Briefly.
I started with Florida East Coast Railroad, 61, and a management trainee program. Went from department to department to department. Later on, they chose me to be in the maintenance way engineering.
That's right.
72, the company moved me to St. Augustine, where I became general manager of a pre-stressed concrete operation.
This was a subsidiary of... Where you were making concrete dividers.
We built the concrete cross ties. The traffic crossings, like on Canal Street. Every crossing from Jackson to Miami was built at my plant.
And you retired, you said 1990... 1993?
I think so. It's been,
Yeah.
it's been a long
Well, you said
time.
about 33 years, give or
Yes.
take.
Yes.
And since then, you've just been volunteering in the community. And
My wife and I lost our first child of cancer when she was 2 years, 2 weeks old.
oh, I'm sorry to hear
We started
that.
volunteering. At that time for the American Cancer, you would knock on doors. I'm collecting money.
And let's pan around to the certificate you have
In
here.
2007
You can turn that
and
around.
2009, I was chair of our local unit.
And then you have another plaque here as a very important person of the year, Gene Punky Sheldon. That's quite the nickname, Mr. Sheldon.
I was 12 hours old and my older brother named me Punky.
I don't know if you ever
I
heard of
stuck
a
with it.
TV show back in the late 80s called Punky Brewster.
Oh,
This
yes,
little
I
girl, she was a cutie.
I was reminded quite a bit.
I'm
about
sure you, and you probably made fun of.
it. Probably was.
Now, you're also, another one of your claim to fame is starting up the NSB
Caps
spaghetti dinner for the kids, for the high school.
Yeah, for the
with
high
your
school.
late wife, Marjorie.
Margie and I started it.
And that was in the late 90s.
Yeah, and she passed in 2002 with cancer, and I kept it for 2 years and gave it up.
Well,
Also,
you passed it on to other people,
passed it to
though.
others.
Right.
And also, Margie and I started the Perlo dinner
Right. That was a part of it, too.
part of it with the Historical Society, and after 2 years of her death, I gave that up.
And I guess you're an avid boater, fisherman.
I have a boat. I'm a member of the Anglers Club. I'm a past Commodore.
Commodore, that's like a big shot, right?
Not in our club.
That means you get all the grief.
I get all the grief and mop floors.
I know Michael Coates, his wife, Michelle Coates, is
Michelle.
a very nice lady. She works at the county part-time in
Right.
public relations. He was a past Commodore
He's
recently.
past Commodore.
Who's the Commodore now?
Greg Bennett.
I don't know him. And was Walter Johnson a Commodore at one point, or he didn't want the job?
I don't think Walter was a Commodore.
Too busy with the Settle Wilder funeral
Too
home.
busy.
So, and as we were talking here on a Friday night, you're going to have a fish fry, and then or some kind of event you said you were going to
Just
have.
a small group gonna fry some fresh mullet that was caught last night.
And so you're a member of the Anglers Club. You're joined the Ad Authority. We're going to end this segment right here and pick up again in 2 seconds because we're running out of videotape.